everybody. It's Babs Spraggons from... You're not Ensign Accessories anymore, are you?
Well, yes, I am Ensign Accessories. Ensign Accessories is the overall company, but Little Tinkers at Dedham is the shop.
You've got your umbrella company, you've got your overarching company, and you've got your little one.
So like a PLC, really.
Yeah, it's a PLC. We just call you Babs PLC. That'll do. Well, everything going well? Are we buying lots of stuff at the moment? Is it all picking up?
Dedham's brilliant. We've got lots of sort of customers coming there on coaches and things, and they're all buying big things. And yes, it's very good. Now we've got the children on school holidays. They're all buying pocket money things.
Very good indeed. Very good indeed. We'll keep the coach thought because we're going to be talking about coaches. And also Sue Hall. She's got her legs out, everyone.
Yes,
Stand by.
Really
we don't often see those. And they're good legs, Sue.
Thank you so
much. Why are they
much.
Never out?
Well, I guess it's about perception, isn't it? You know, do you think you've got good legs?
No, but I happen to know I haven't.
We all think that,
and I've got. What about my legs? You're right.
No, but I do have my shorts on today. You're quite right, because it's supposed to be a nice day today. Although it's not as hot as some parts of Europe, but I think it was going to reach the heady heights of 22 today.
I think that's a little too hot some places.
Yeah, it's like 45 degrees or something. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
We couldn't cope with that. But you have got your Donald Trump knees.
I have. I was just saying, dear listeners, that I call my knees Donald Trump knees, because if you look hard enough, he's there. He's everywhere, but he's certainly...
It's one than Donald Trump, the other one the North Korean chap.
No. That'd be knock-kneed there.
They'll have a little fight.
Don't laugh.
So do your knees have a sort of comb over?
No, my knees have got better hairdo than that.
I was going to say, have you got hairy knees in that case? What is it about your knees that say Donald Trump?
Do you know, I think it's just the expressions that he makes and what you can do with your knees. You can make your knees sort of do different things.
Moving on. All right, here we go, ladies. We must crack on. The first question out of the stalls: our holidays were asking more hassle than they're worth. The reason I'm saying this, we had a mini break this week, which I'm hugely grateful about, and it was great to be able to go on holiday. It was 2 days in York, which was fantastic.
I love York.
Really
love
nice.
York.
National Railway Museum, fantastic.
Shambles.
Shops. But I came back exhausted because you've got the one day of doing all the sightseeing. So you're up the Minster, you're around this, and at the end of it, I was like, I just need a holiday after a holiday. So how do you actually guarantee that you come back from a holiday more refreshed than when you went, would you say, Babs?
Well, I don't do the sort of sightseeing. I can't be asked with the sightseeing. Sorry. I don't want to see the whatever it is, the York Minster and everything else, and I don't want to see the museums, and I'm not interested one iota.
Oh, interesting.
Shops to me.
You're just shop.
Yes, yeah. I don't actually have to go in the shops. I just have to go round them, and I don't actually have to buy. But I actually just love the little types of independent shopping.
They could be the Hanging Gardens of Babylon on the left. It could be Primark on the right, and you'll be going in the shops.
Forget the Primark.
Okay, all right. Other shops.
One has different. One does not go to Primark, my dear.
So you don't think that you have to sort of have a tick list? God, must see this, must see this, must see that.
Because I think that's the worst thing. You become like one of these Japanese, Chinese sort of tourists, where if it's Tuesday, it's got to be this, and you take a photo, go past, and you don't actually see it until you look at it in the photos afterwards. Oh yes, we saw Big Ben. Oh yes, it's in a photo.
Yeah.
But they don't actually look at it.
I think you've got a point, but I just feel so guilty if you go to York and you don't go around York Minster and you haven't seen this and seen that.
I do love wandering round places, but at my own pace, and I don't like this huge agenda. You've got to see this, got to see that. So you've got a 10 list tick off. I don't like that bit. I just like wandering.
Yeah, well, and we were staying in a very nice hotel as well, and we sort of thought, well, I wish I'd just spent the whole time in the hotel and just relaxing there rather than... Anyway, I did get to see the National Railway Museum. Sue, what about you? You love a holiday.
I do love a holiday, and also because I used to be a tour guide, I've got a bit of a different perspective on things, because, I used to be taking people away for the weekend, which is what you've just done, a long weekend break, and they do cram it in. There is a lot, I used to get people say to me, I feel as though I've been away for a week, I've seen so much. But what they also said was, but I haven't had to worry about the traffic and the car breaking down or anything else.
We're straying into the coach trip territory here.
But because they'd managed to fit in so much, they'd covered a lot of ground, you know.
Yeah.
And yes, you give them free time, and yes, they do walk-in stuff and everything, and they sleep on the way home. You know,
Exhausted, I should think.
But are you of the Babs camp? If you go away, and would you just think, well, I can't be bothered to go and see the Taj Mahal. I can't be bothered to go and see this. I'm just going to mooch around and do my own thing. Or would you have the tick list, must do, must do, must do, must do?
A bit of both, actually. In certain places, I would think, yes, I definitely have to do that at least once. All right. If I then go back to the same city, obviously you don't need to do it again. Like, let's take New York, for example. I've been up the Empire State Building twice, but I've been to New York about 8 times, you know. So once you've done something, then you really don't have to do it again.
I think that's the thing. If you think, I might never go back to York, so I've got to do absolutely every single thing.
I think where you've got something like the Taj Mahal, then you've got to see that. That is something that you can do at your own pace, but you don't want to do it herding around, which I won't say anything about because that's the next one.
Well,
no, but I think, you know, going back to the original thing, you know, to ensure that you feel rested after a break, you probably should have just stayed in the hotel. If you're paying a lot of money for a 4-star hotel or something, it's got, you know, probably a spa and a swimming pool and, you know, really nice facilities and everything. Just mooch out for a bit of dinner on the Saturday night or something, and then you'd have a look round.
Don't you feel that you've always got to eat out somewhere else? I don't like eating in the hotel.
No, me neither.
Whenever I've been ill, it's always because I've eaten in the hotel, and that is my one thing I will not eat in a hotel.
She doesn't like it.
No.
Well, what about clearing the decks before you go in? Well, the question is, are they more hassle than they're worth? Because you've got so much to do before you go. You need a holiday to get over all the stuff you've had to do.
You're absolutely clean. You make sure
all this is done, all that's done, all your work's up to date, all of this.
Mind you, it's very cathartic because you actually get round to actually doing something then, rather than sort of thinking I'll do that tomorrow. So you do manage to clear the decks.
Do you manage to do all of that? Because you've got a deputy that you can rely on when you're away. Your PA, do this.
I wish. No, I'm just attuned to it, I suppose, because I've travelled so much. You know, you just get. I don't pack till the night before. You know,
No,
I mean,
I must pack about a week beforehand. Oh yes, I'm terrible with that.
No, and I have a list of, like, you know, it's like a tick list to make sure I don't forget anything and stuff, and it can all be done the night before.
And then you come back to work and you look at your emails and think, I've got no recollection of what I'm doing at all.
But the worst
But
thing
that's
is,
when you know you've had a good holiday.
Yeah, probably, because you've totally forgotten
takes you a
what
while
your
to
name
kick
is and all the
back
rest
in.
of
the
it.
worst thing that's sort of coming back is all the washing.
Yeah, then you've got the washing
You've
to
got
do.
piles of washing. How did I use these many clothes? I can't believe it.
It is true. All right, then, we're asking on the programme today, are holidays more hassle than they're worth? How do you actually guarantee that you get a good restful break when you go away?
Girls.
Here they are, everyone. Babs Spraggons and also Sue Hall talking about all sorts of things on the programme today. Penny Rattleton says, what's happened to relaxation? That's why you go on holiday. When she last went to Spain, she forgot a mobile phone, and that was the best holiday ever because she completely got away from everything.
Good
That's
for you,
perfect.
Penny.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that's what
That's the thing.
Because if you think back when we did, I don't know how old Penny is, but you know, when you went on holiday, that was it. You weren't
was it.
contactable.
Yeah.
You weren't, you know, constantly being reminded to do things or interrupted. You were away with your family, and that was it.
You weren't electronically tagged.
No,
Not in that
exactly.
way.
Yeah,
No.
either way.
True. I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right. All right, then, moving on, ladies. Well, we're sticking with holidays for the next one because apparently coach trips have never been more popular.
I think we have Brexit to thank for that.
Well, apparently we do, because we
Yes.
used to go abroad a lot on a coach trip. So now we're having coach trips, but we're having them in this country. 5 million of us every year regularly get on a bus for our annual holiday and share the experience with 40 odd strangers
All in
and
the
a
same
chemical
coach?
loo.
Yes, all on the same coach. I've even
40 million?
as an ex-tour guide
It's a
myself.
big bus.
I've even done double deckers. Let me tell you.
So come on then, Sue. Former coach trip. You weren't the driver. You were on the left. We have the so-and-so on the right.
Yes, and you're the tour manager, really. You're
Yeah.
not just a guide.
Oh,
you
so then
you
you've-
manage the whole thing.
So
yeah.
you don't just get off and then you've got to hook them. Everyone's got to get the rooms.
yeah.
You've got to make sure
Yeah.
the right.
You lose lose the
job.
people.
And when you
then
do the
bring 'em
longer
back again.
tours, you've got to make sure the luggage is all lined up and counted, and it gets to the rooms, and when it comes out, it's all counted for, it gets loaded on.
That's a
and
big job.
marked up with, chalked and everything for the room numbers. I mean, yeah, it was a massive job.
How badly wrong can it go, Sue? What I'm after is your stories of sending someone's baggage to Milan when they're en route to Paris.
No, I did have some Australian ladies on a tour once, and she had one lady had a suite of tapestry luggage, that tapestry type luggage,
yeah.
and you're only supposed to have like the one big case, and she'd got 3 of descending sizes. But the big one just kept getting heavier and heavier every time it came off the coach, and we counted it on, and I looked and I went to pick it up to help the driver to move it, and I said, "What have you got in here? Rocks?" And she went, "Oh yeah, my son's a geologist. He asked me to collect some." So every place we had been, she'd been collect, and they weren't just little tiny pebbles. These were really big rocks.
Well, at least it wasn't the Hotel Silver. That could have been.
Right.
So go on then. What is so great? I mean, obviously, have you experienced it from the other side? Have you been
Yes,
on a coach trip?
I've been on coach trips as well.
And what's good about them?
What's good about it is you don't have to drive, right?
Yep.
So you can sleep, you can eat, you can drink, you can chat, read a book, you can look out the window, listen to your music. It's the start of your holiday, and that's what you do. I'm the one at the front that has all the worry. If there's a problem, if there's traffic, it's the driver's problem, that. You switch off. All right, there's nothing for you to worry about.
Yeah. So I mean, that sounds quite good, Babs. Are you swayed?
Well, years ago, I used to belong to something, and I think it was called the Wayfarers. I'm going back a long time. This must be 20 years ago. And we used to go to various country homes and things like that. And I absolutely hated it with a vengeance, because it was this herding mentality. You've got to meet at this at 4:00 and you've got to be there by 5:30, whatever. And I can't be doing with things like that.
Yes, you can't go off piste, can you, Sue,
No.
very much?
Oh yeah, no, I used to have that because when Paris weekends are always very popular, and you'd always have people that had been to Paris before, so they didn't necessarily want to do the city tour or this and that. So that's a whole morning they can have to themselves if they want. So I would just say, well, the coach is going to be there at this rough time, but off you go, enjoy your morning, And it's only the people that hadn't been before that stayed with you. So very often you do have choices. You don't have to do everything that is on offer.
Yeah, I do. I can't get my head round this large group, which unfortunately is probably what you used to do, with this person telling you about this, and half a dozen that. And most of it goes over my head anyway, because I'm really not interested in sort of history.
You just want to map to the shops.
Well, quite.
But you see, I was that sort of tour guide anyway. I'm not a historian type thing. I used to tell jokes. I used to my city tours in the evening. I used to call them my hallucinations tour instead of illuminations tour, because I'd take them all to a restaurant and they'd had copious amounts of wine and everything, so they didn't care what they saw.
Perhaps
really.
I sort of went with the wrong people at the wrong
probably.
time.
Well, I mean, they have got. We are a bit sniffy and a bit snobby about the coach tour. Would you say that you're not going on a coach tour? It does sound a bit. I don't know.
However, I'm very grateful for the coach tours because they all come to.
You did mention that. There you go.
Yes,
and also, then you can easily, like your Australian with the rocks, you can just put it in your bag and that's it. Heather in Tannington says has recently had a coach holiday and she wouldn't have another one.
Oh dear.
She didn't find it very restful at all. You're herded about too much, and she doesn't like to be ruled by a clock.
That's me, you see.
That's you,
me.
Babs.
Yeah,
That is you.
It's me to a T, so I fully agree with that one.
I suppose also you're told stuff, and I don't even like to go on a tour bus because I don't like people telling me things. But that's stupid, really. Tour bus in a town is quite handy. You can see this, that, and the other. And you're always a big fan of the tour bus.
I
Tour
am,
bus.
because I think it's if
You
you're
learn
going
stuff.
to a city you've
Yeah.
not been. Like the first time I went to Bath, I had never been before, so that's the best way to see the city and get an orientation. We just jumped on the tour bus, and I would thoroughly recommend that.
Would you do that, Babs?
I think my biggest problem is I'm not the slightest bit interested, as I said, in sort of history. I don't care whether it was built in 1924 or 18 or sort of 1066. I just couldn't care less. If something looks nice, then I'll sort of go and have a look round it. And
You just want to soak up
Yes,
the
I do.
atmosphere.
Yes, I
Soak up
do.
it. And I always think the best finds
the
when you're
locals.
away is an off-piste discovery. If you're not going by the guidebook and find it at a restaurant or something.
I love walking around cities and going up little tiny side streets and seeing something that people would never have seen before, because most of these big groups would not go up these tiny little side streets.
Sue would get them up a side street.
No,
And here we
I
go.
never used to climb steps or do anything really difficult. So when I first started out doing the guiding, I worked a lot with Saga, and you had to be really ancient in those days. They brought the number
about 50
down.
now.
No, it's about 50 now.
It'll be
But
30
I can
soon.
remember one tour I did down in what used to be Yugoslavia, and got the coach as far as the car park, but then you had to walk to get pictures of the view across the lake and everything else. And I remember I got this tray out, and every one of those passengers put their cameras on this tray, and I carried it to the top of the staircase.
Oh, you
and I
carried the
took
cameras?
pictures
Oh,
of
they-
the
oh, how
view with all their
funny.
cameras, and then brought them all back down again.
that's-
Thanks very much, Sue.
That's quite ridiculous.
I know, because
you
they hadn't
haven't
even seen the view.
Oh, that's quite illogical.
All right.
That just sums it up to me.
Girls, 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 girls. Girls, girls, girls.
Here we go, everyone in the studio. Sue Hall, we haven't given you a little plug from Made to Clean.
Yes,
and also
hello, Sue
Women
Hall, Made to
in
Clean.
Rural Enterprise.
Yes, we've got our summer fundraiser on Tuesday night.
Open to all.
Yes, it was open to members first, but now members can bring guests or other people. Yes, because it's a barbecue at a member's house.
Nice.
And hubby's doing the barbecue and everything. We're supporting Cruise Bereavement Care this year as our charity, because one of our members has just trained as a volunteer with them.
Oh, right.
So, yeah,
Great.
we're doing that. And Made to Clean, we're as busy as ever. We have got people waiting for cleaners at the moment.
Wow.
We need more cleaners. So,
You don't want me
yeah.
as a cleaner. I'm not
yep.
a good cleaner. What do you say the hubby's doing the barbecue? Where's your right-on sister spirit?
No, she will. She may do some of the cooking, yes.
She'll
but,
do this coleslaw.
But she'll, yeah, it tends to be that. And us ladies are bringing desserts.
Oh,
You've got to actually prize the man away from the barbecue first.
not in
Yes.
not in our household. I do it.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. And National Prosecco Day. I take there'll be a bit of that going down.
Well, I'd like to think so, yes, yes.
Like to think. All right, we've got to crack on, ladies. Here we go. What do we make of the jogger who pushed one woman under the bus this week? We're not going to chat too much about that. But what the question we're asking is, should we have a pavement charter whereby everyone knows exactly what's expected of them if they're walking along the road? Dogs give way to joggers, joggers give way to so-and-so. What annoys you, basically, when you are trogging along the pavement, would you say, Babs?
We could simply go back to having good manners
Yes.
and think of other people. There's no courtesy, there's no kindness, there's no thinking of anyone, what annoys me more than anything else is when you go through a door, the man shuts it in front of you, and I think, thank you. But actually, I partly blame women for this because of the equality, and they want to be equal with men, and men now actually don't know what to do. They don't know whether to hold the door open, and the woman says, I don't want that open for me. So I do blame women, but I think courtesy is just the simple answer.
So on a pavement basis, what is it
Courtesy.
that would annoy you, Sue, trogging along?
The thing that really irritates me with pavements is I've got no problem with cycle paths and things like that if they're used, but where there aren't any, cyclists just use the pavement. And that really winds me up because they come out of
Use
nowhere.
the pavement.
No,
I don't think they are, but they do. And that's what really irritates me.
See, the only thing I would say as a cyclist, possibly not for grown-ups, but when I see little kids on bikes and I think, oh, God, let them go on the pavement because it is so dangerous being a cyclist these days. And, you say there's no cycle lane lanes just disappear.
So are these children cycling by themselves?
These are
don't know.
children and adults that are using the pavements.
Yeah, well, what they should do is what they used to do years ago. Everything goes back to years ago. You go as though you're a car, so you put the children on the inside and the parents go on the outside. So you make yourself a square, and the children are protected.
That's if you're with a big family, but if you see a couple of kids on their own, like little kids,
They shouldn't be out. on main roads. Seriously.
No, all right.
And
then.
talking of cyclists, I very often see mid-teenage, like 15, 16-year-old boys on bikes which are way too small for them, with their knees sticking out at
That's it.
ridiculous
Isn't that your
angles.
BMX bikes, isn't it?
They look so daft.
They look ridiculous.
Anything
yeah.
else on the sort of, if you're with a dog
Scooters.
walker,
Scooters.
you're not
These-
happy with a scooter
These tiny little scooters which...
with the little kids on it, not
Yeah.
mobility scooters.
Which, oh no, these tiny little scooters with sort of 2 or 4 wheels, which children seem to bring everywhere. They bring in shops, they bring on the pavements, and that's wrong.
That's wrong.
Girls, 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 girls.
Almost out of time. Time to hand over shortly to Steve Sherrill. Oh, I think it's Keith actually sitting in for Steve. In the studio, we have Sue Hall and also Bab Spraggons talking about things that annoy us on the pavements. Pat in Lowestoft doesn't like it when cyclists ride on pavements, makes him mad. Penny in Rattleston has to walk in the road to avoid mums with buggies and old people standing in groups chatting, taking up all the room. She's even had a guy on a mobility scooter toot at her to get off the pavement when he was driving on it. I think it does
Difficult,
come down to
very
it. We're
difficult.
all so crammed in these days,
Yeah.
aren't we?
It
And
goes,
there's,
it goes back to sort of courtesy and sort of
Yeah.
kindness and thinking of others. It's
Well,
as simple
apparently,
as that.
when you're jogging, all your testosterone is all this, and you
And they
just
can't
become
possibly
a bit
stop, can
violent.
they?
They can't
Yeah.
possibly stop, no, because they might be doing a PB. They might be on a PB.
That's right.
But I mean, would you have dogs?
Mm-hmm.
I always put Wilma on the lead if there's a jogger going past, because I think that's a bit. Otherwise, they will chase them.
My
It's
dog,
so
if I'm
difficult.
walking on pavements, my dogs are always on lead anyway.
Yes.
All right. I only let them off the lead if I'm at the park or in the dog park. But if they do see somebody running on the pavement, they'll just think that that's somebody to race against. But it worries me when the cyclists come past as well, because my dogs are not trained to listen out for bicycles.
Yeah, and they do like to chase a bike. The worst one is in Felixstowe because you've got a lot of boot campers running up and down, and dogs
What
just
are
think
boot
it's
campers?
when they're doing all the boot camping, running up and down the stairs. And
Oh, I
dogs
see.
just haven't got. They think it's hilarious, which it kind of is. All right then, ladies. Very quickly and finally on the programme, so I just come up with a technique that will stop you forgetting everything from an umbrella to your keys. Basically, all it is you have to visualise the umbrella in front of the door. It's called utilisation. It's taken a team of scientists many, many years to come up with this. We probably all do it anyway. What fail-safe methods have you got, Babs, for remembering things? Are you a big habitual forgetter of things?
Oh yes. I forget things all the time. What I do in the middle of the night, I suddenly remember must do so and so. So I pick something up out of the drawer beside me and put it in the middle of the door, or I throw it, and then in the morning I see this there and I think, what's that for? So I then don't
That's
know.
not bad. But that's in the middle of the night.
Yeah, sometimes I do remember.
But can you can remember what you actually meant to
Not
trigger?
always. Not always.
So it's not a fail-proof method.
So you just wonder why you've got something randomly thrown.
That's it.
So she can't get out of the bedroom because there's like a pile of stuff blocking the door.
What about you, Sue? I imagine you're quite on it. I imagine you're quite together, aren't you?
Yeah, I tend to leave stuff in the same place. If I need to take it with me to put it in the car, then it's on that same table. So I always check that table. What's on here? Is it the post? Is it, the shopping bags? What's got to go back in the car or out with me? So I will tend to do that. But I am of the, I've gone upstairs, what did I come up here for? So I have to start going down
think
again
that's
to
called
remind
age, Sue.
myself. Yeah.
See, I don't see how you'd remember to do all this memory technique though, because you'd have to remember need to take an umbrella out with you to visualise the umbrella in front of the door.
That's an absolute load of rubbish.
Is it a load of
really
rubbish?
Is. Oh yeah.
These are
yeah.
scientists from Toronto.
Yeah,
You're being
well, quite.
I think you just get a
I've seen them
post-it
all.
note and put it on the door. Is it raining? Take umbrella.
CB. Yeah. Well, okay, but you normally are quite good at remembering things.
No.
You are. I'm terrible.
Generally, yeah, but I do suffer from the upstairs,
The upstairs,
downstairs
I
thing.
have
lists. I have lists. So I cross
That
things
helps.
off lists.
I'm terrible with keys,
I think
glasses,
it
phone.
actually helps if you write something down and you can actually visualise the word then. Sometimes I don't refer to the list because I know I've actually written it down and I can see it.
Life is complicated, Pam. There's
Ish.
no doubt about that. Also, Arthur in Ipswich agrees about cycles on the path, but the law says you can ride a cycle on the path until you are 12.
All right.
Didn't know
Yes,
that.
I didn't think it was legal
No,
for
I didn't
adults to
either.
do it, but
No,
they do.
I'm flying the flag for
I'm with
cyclists.
you,
here.
Arthur.
I'm flying the flag for cyclists. If you cycle a lot, it is incredibly dangerous. See these little kids, you think, oh, please get on the pavement because it's.
But I thought they had cycle lanes and things going the wrong way.
No.
But the little
Okay.
kids,
Oh,
according to
no.
Arthur, can be on the pavement.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Right,
That is
so,
good.
yeah.
You have a cycle path that will just randomly stop, or people
Yeah.
park in the cycle path
For about 20 yards,
So
yeah.
you can't access the cycle path because it's not a yellow line. Anyway, I could rant on, but I won't. Ladies, thank you so much for your
Pleasure.
contribution and your company today. You got your fundraiser coming up
On Tuesday, yes, we have.
If you want to find out about women in rural, regional enterprise, where'd you go?
wireuk.org.
And anyone can join. That's
Anyone can join, but it doesn't,
got to be female.
preferably, yes.
Or come
be
in a
female
dress.
and be in business, yeah, and operate in a rural area,
Brilliant.
which we do.
Babs, you got a busy week. Are you tinkering?
Yes, I've got the Maritime Festival next weekend. Lots of things going on, lots of stalls. So yeah,
Oh, that's always
I'll
a
be
busy
down
one,
there.
isn't it?
yeah,
That's always a busy one.
Come and see us there.
We will. Thank you for your company. Thanks for Georgie for all her tremendous work behind the scenes. I will see you next Sunday. Have a wonderful week.